Welcome to the Father-Son Sports Talk Show. I'm Tim Martin, and my co-host,
I'm Tim Martin II.
The big draft is this weekend for the NFL, and a famous coach once said, "If I'm going to be cooking the dinner, please let me shop for the groceries." And I feel like there's some players out there that is rotten. You know, like when you go to the grocery store and you pick out a nice peach and you get home and you take a bite out of it and it's rotten inside. There's a receiver named Thaddeus Young who's being compared to Deshaun Jackson. What do you think about Thaddeus?
Thaddeus still needs to work on his footwork and his releases from the line of scrimmage, but he has shown some flashes of Deshaun Jackson-like ability.
Yes, but he's a very sloppy route runner. I was watching him during the Senior Bowl. He had a good first and half of the second day's practice, but as the week went on, in my eyes, he got worse. He got sloppy. At times, he looked tired. He was walking back to the huddle, and he kind of seemed like he had a attitude problem. Another kid that I think is maybe rotten on the inside, but look ripe on the outside, is Nate Solder, the big tackle out of Colorado.
Well, Nate Solder has a chance of being the next Jake Long, and the Lions are looking for offensive linemen with their pick, so maybe he could go there.
Well, he may look like Jake Long, but he doesn't play like Jake Long. There's a lot of bad film floating around out there on this kid. Let's move on to college basketball. Who do you feel like the top player for this NBA draft is?
Nolan Smith by far. He's the most complete point guard and player coming into the draft. I mean, he can rebound, he can shoot, and he's good at getting his assists.
Do you feel like he's another Derrick Rose coming into the league?
Yes, he reminds me a lot of Derrick Rose. He can get you about 7 assists per game and 25 points.
What's your thoughts on the Memphis Grizzlies being up 3-1 on the San Antonio Spurs?
Well, it's actually quite shocking, just to be honest, because let's look at it this way. The Spurs were supposed to sweep the Grizzlies. That's what all the analysts were saying. But now here we are, 3-1 Grizzlies lead the series. And really, the Spurs are at the brink. They need to come back and win this next Game 5.
You're right about that, or it may be all over. There's been a lot of talk over the years, Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, who's the greatest player between those two. What's your thoughts on that?
I feel that is Michael Jordan. He's won 6 rings. I know Kobe's trying to get a 6th this year. He is actually the leading average per game player of all time in NBA history.
Well, I'm looking through the years. Dennis Rodman just went into the Hall of Fame. Scottie Pippen went into the Hall of Fame. He played with Horace Grant. He's not a Hall of Famer. But the only other Hall of Famer, potential Hall of Famer that I see is Shaq that Kobe's played with. But he won 2 championships with Shaq, but he's done it on his own.
Well, I want to say that Kobe did it on his own, considering, hey, when he was without Shaq, he went with Paul Gasol, Ron Artest, Andrew Bynum, and a bunch of other contributors, not mentioning Lamar Odom. So you couldn't say that he necessarily did it on his own, but he really was the only superstar there when they won it.
Please stay tuned for our special Father-Son. Today we will show you a simple drill you can do with a tennis ball that will improve your reaction time, your acceleration, and help you to develop an explosive first step. Start 1 step away, you hold the ball up, drop it, explode out and get the ball. Once they succeed at 1 step, you take another step back, explode out, get the ball. If you succeed at 2nd step, you move back to 3rd step. Back a 4th step. Go back a 5th step. back a 6-step. This is a very simple drill that would help create an explosive first step, increase your reaction time, and help you. Great Ben Hogan once said, you got to find it from the dirt. You got to get it from the dirt. A lot of you young players, you need to listen to Mr. Hogan. You got to get it from the dirt. What he was meaning is you got to go out and grind and work every single day to become a great player, no matter what sport you're playing.